Hello everyone, those who are watching this video. I, Shruti Chakraborty, a second semester B.Ed trainee from Siliguri Tarai B.Ed College, will be giving a short explanation and a demo video on a chapter, Prose, of class 9 syllabus, and it is known by the name The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen. It is a story about a poor little girl who is out selling matchsticks for her father. She is also scared because till now she did not sell anything, and she is hopeless and scared both at the same time to go home. As we go into the story, we will find that the story not only replicates the struggle of the little girl, but it also talks about the Victorian era of that time and the socioeconomic criteria that was dwelling during that time. I hope you find this video very interesting. I have put a lot of effort in it and I've tried to make it as creative as possible. So let's move on to the video. The Little Match Girl is a widely read story by Andersen which focuses on the plight of the poor children who suffer undeserved hardships just because they were born in the wrong socio-economic strata. It is a story which focuses on a little match girl who is hungry and she walks across an empty street trying to sell matchsticks and matchboxes provided by her father to earn their bread. She is afraid to return home as she has not sold anything till now. The story unfolds in a cold, dark New Year's Eve, and in this cold and harsh setting, we find that this poor little girl, whose name also is not even mentioned, she is walking bareheaded and barefoot through the streets. Also, we are told that she was wearing slippers, but what happened is when she left home, she lost them as she was running in the street in order to save herself from being hit by carriages that were driving too fast. So it shows the socio background, the socio-economical background of that time, who were like people who were least bothered by the safety of the children. The author also describes that the girl's feet was red and blue with cold, and she was carrying a packet of matchsticks and she was trying to sell them, but no one was buying from her, and which left her utterly penniless. The hungry child could not think of anything but the glorious smell of roast goose in the street, as because this was the time of the New Year. It was a day of celebration, but she was hungry. So, to save herself from the cold weather, she huddles down in a corner formed by two houses. She was not at all daring to go home because she did not sell even a single matchsticks, and she was scared that her father would surely beat her. In the story, we are also told that her home is anything more than a shack and isn't better than the place she is presently huddled in, which shows that she was not belonging from a good family, which was financially well, and her bread and butter depended on selling the matchsticks. Now, to save herself from the cold and to keep herself warm, she begins to light the matchstick. On striking, she felt the warmth of the matchstick, but the matchstick soon faded out. Then she thought of striking the second match, and she sees that the matchstick provided light and warmth again, and she felt that the bricks became transparent like a gauze. She feels, okay, this is like a dreamlike state. She feels that she sees right into the room where there is a table, and it is in the center. And in that center, on a plate, there is a roast goose stuffed with prunes and apples, and it is steaming, that is, it is hot. So she thinks and dreams of all this because she was very cold due to the weather, and also she was hungry because she did not sell one single matchstick the whole day. On striking the third match, she finds herself sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree. And this was much better than the one she had seen last year through someone's door. This magical moment is abruptly marked by a strong irony when the girl remarks, "Now someone is dying." So, when she saw that the Christmas tree and the food, that is the roasted goose, she was happy because she could not actually get all these things in the real life. But while lighting the matchstick, she could see all this because it was in her dream. It was like magic. On striking the fourth match, the girl's grandmother appears in front of her. She is delighted to have her. And the little girl, she begs her to take her along with the grandmother, because she again fears, because the moment the matchstick will get extinguished, her grandmother is going to disappear. And therefore the next action of her was that whatever matchsticks were remaining, she just lit them up all together, and it created a bigger and more like brighter kind of ambience. And then she thought that lighting all the matchsticks could make her grandmother stay for some more time. So all this shows that the girl was not provided with the best childhood, and she had to go through child labor to provide some bread to her family. And because of this, the child is so innocent. It is also seen that she is seeing this magical kind of dreams. She longs for such things, but she does not get any of it. And lastly, when it is finally the morning of New Year, someone finds her dead, and they find that there was a matchbox beside her, and everybody just commented that maybe she was just trying to warm herself, and the cold took away her life. But actually, if we see it in more depth, actually it was not just the cold, it was everything in totality that she could not find in her own small life. She was she did not have a perfect home. She did not even find the joys of childhood. She was deprived of every little joy that she could have, just because she was born in a wrong social strata. It is, the story focuses on the plight of the poor children who suffer undeserved hardships just because they were born in the wrong socio-economic strata. The author was also trying to, showcase his own troubled childhood, and that's why he has given so much, depth to the story, and we can find this while reading the story. Also, it is not a helpless plea for pity. The story does not even beg for kindness, but it shows the true reality of the society during that time, and somewhere it is even today. By the end of the story, we find that the little match girl has understood, imagined, and experienced, and this is far beyond the comprehension of the wealthy folks who accept and denote her death as a matter of fact, or due to some event. Also, it is very significant, as we can see that when she lights the fourth matchstick, it produces a vision, and this vision was far more valuable than the other three visions which she had while lighting the matchstick, that is of her grandmother. She loved her grandmother so much, and she was tired of this society that she lived in. She begged her grandmother so that she could take away her into a proper happy place. And we should also notice that she burns all the matches only to keep her grandmother in front of her, the vision of her grandmother. She does not burn all the matches when she sees food, or when she sees, the Christmas tree or even the stove, but only when she sees her grandmother. This shows that, she does not she does not have any greed for warmth, she does not have any greed for food, but she craves the most is love, care and compassion, as it is like embodied by her dear grandmother. Also, we find that this matchstick, it is a representative of, a symbol of hope and her desperate will to live. The girl stays alive as long as the fire of hope is burning, and the moment, she dies, that is when all the matches have been extinguished. And also, like, this is very unfortunate that, during the start of a new year, when everyone is supposed to do merrymaking, eat, live happily, she is frozen to death during the dawn of the new year.